Every boxer, from the heavyweight legend Mike Tyson to the undefeated Floyd Mayweather, had one thing in common, which was their unique boxing style. Mike Tyson's style, while Floyd Mayweather used the Philly shell style, which provided him with an ultimate defense. There are many styles like this in boxing, so let's cover some of the unique boxing styles. The first boxing style we are going to cover is the Philly shell, which was mastered by the boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. To perform this defensive style, you should keep the lead hand low and the backhand higher to protect the head and body. To get good at this boxing style, you need to first get good at shoulder rolls and counter punching very fast. You can see some of Floyd Mayweather's fights to get an idea of how effective it is when you have mastered everything required for this fighting style, like good body movement and shoulder rolls. Let's talk about some pros and cons of this boxing style. The first benefit of this boxing style is that it can be an unpredictable way of fighting for your opponent, since very few people can perform the Philly shell very well. It can give you a massive advantage over them because they will be confused about how to fight you. One thing bad about this boxing style is that it requires a lot of precision, which most people lack. You need to have a very good coach who knows how to train people to use this style. We'll be honest, a lot of coaches can't train people to use any other style other than the basic orthodox or southpaw style. You will probably have to go to advanced gyms or get a very qualified coach. I mean, you can see the reason why a lot of boxers maintain their prime for a long time without falling off. They got a good coach and the right diet and sleep. Most people will not be able to get very good at this style because it is too complicated for beginners, or if you are used to another style, but it is effective if used the right way. Floyd Mayweather had 50 wins and 0 loss in his career, and the Philly shell style played a huge role in it. Let's talk about the second fighting style in boxing, which is the brawler style. An example of someone who uses the brawler boxing style is Manny Pacquiao. It works very well, especially in close range combat. I mean, it is not similar to something like the Philly shell because the Philly shell is not the best boxing style for close combat. To perform the brawler style, you have to get your hands faster while throwing powerful punches, and also close in towards your opponent. Let's talk about the next fighting style, which is the outboxer style. An outboxer is someone who maintains a good distance from their opponents. They use their footwork and good body movement to create distance and use long-range jabs to help them get more punches in the fight. It works amazing for people with long hands and the people who want to control the pace of the fight. Sugar Ray Robinson was a great example for an outside boxer. He maintained good distance and landed a solid punch when he got his chance. One thing I want to say is that this video is about both boxing styles and stances mixed up together. So I included things like Philly shell and inside and outside boxing style. Let's talk about the next boxing style, which is the peekaboo style, which was mastered by the former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson and Floyd Patterson. Some people argue that this is not a style but a stance, but in my opinion I just call it a boxing style as it makes more sense. In the peekaboo style, fighters get to a low crouching stance with their hands high and close to their face to protect them against punches. The boxer moves forward, weaving side to side to slip punches while closing the distance and landing a knockout punch. Mike Tyson made this style very popular. I believe his coach was the one who developed this style of boxing. This fighting style particularly works for shorter boxers who have a very powerful punching power. It worked for Mike Tyson since he was on a class of his own in his prime. There are a few disadvantages to this boxing style. In my opinion, someone who is good at maintaining distance and has a strong punch can counter someone using that style. It is important to remember that this style is usually very effective in close range. So if you can find an opening when he is closing in towards you, that is your chance to defeat him. Another disadvantage they have is that they cannot fall back very fast like normal fighters because of the positioning of their legs. Alright, let's move on to the next boxing style, which is the swarmer's boxing style. This fighting style requires the user to pressure their opponents constantly. To get good at this boxing style, you should be fast at throwing hands and break down your opponent's defense. You need a lot of stamina for this fighting style, just like the brawler boxing style. In simple words, it is fighting inside and close to your opponent. Your main goal if you are using this boxing style is to land as many punches as you can and get closer to your opponent and put him under a great pressure so you can win the fight by a knockout or a technical knockout. I think winning by a technical knockout will be more common outcome if you use this boxing style, because the fight will have to be stopped if you don't give your opponent a chance while landing constant punches. Just to let you know, there are a lot of different styles and techniques in boxing and mixed martial arts, but I will be covering them soon in my other videos. I was a little busy this week, but soon you will be seeing way more boxing videos, from speed bag training to different combinations and strength and conditioning in boxing.